Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhavamahadavagninirvatam Shriya Kairava Chandrakravitaranam Vidyavadurivanam Anandam Durivardhanam Pratipadam Puranam Vitasvaram Sarvatma Snapanam Padam Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Okay, we're live again. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, the Marathon San Kirtan Podcast. And today we have the privilege of being joined by Rasika-raya Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Prabhu, thank you so much for having me. Really excited to be discussing the most magical month of the marathon with you.
Well, maybe we can start. How do you approach book distribution? Because you're one of the leaders in Bhaktivedanta manor, right? I was just wondering, what's your meditation on book distribution? How do you approach it? What inspires you about book distribution, or even how did you originally catch the book distribution bug? It'd be nice to hear some of these things.
Sure. Yeah, somehow or other, I'm really infected. And I don't think there's any possibility of getting rid of that infection. By the mercy of the devotees, I hope I still, for the rest of my life, remain infected. It started maybe 10 years ago when I just got wind of there being a book distribution program happening. And I thought, it'd be nice to try that out. I was quite new to Krishna consciousness at the time. And I tried it out and I thought, there's a different rasa here. There's some sort of taste here. And then I started on taking a little bit of responsibility and I never looked back. I think just the idea of cutting into someone's life and completely transforming it on its head and changing the trajectory of their life is just an incredible power that the book distributors have been lent by Krishna, and to be able to be used in that way, I think, is an incredible blessing. We see how the book distributors can find someone who unassumingly would normally, from a material perspective, not be attracted to Krishna consciousness, but you kind of intervene and they become devotees after taking these books. And we realize that Krishna consciousness is for everybody. And that philosophy of this being available for everybody, for me, is just quite heart-melting. Like, this is what's going to save the world. This is what's going to unite us. And to play a small role in that is just incredible. It's super fun.
Well, what advice would you give to those devotees who get a bit nervous to go out? They're a bit scared. So they're looking for some confidence.
To feel nervous and to not have confidence at the beginning is completely natural. And I'd be surprised if you weren't nervous or lacking in confidence. But if we simply take a moment to realize how important it is, and we reflect on the jewels that we've collected in our own Krishna consciousness, and if we think about Prahlad Maharaj's meditation in the 7th canto of how without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, no one can be happy. We think about these things that can really give us a push. And I'd say practice Sankirtan with other devotees, go in pairs, go in threes, and just give it a go. Don't put any pressure on yourself to distribute any books. Just try to stop someone and hand them a book and see how that goes. And then just try to stop someone, hand them the book and say something about it, and then build yourself up like that. But give it a go with other devotees, and in the fire of that Sangha, Krishna can do lots of magic through you, and you'll be able to witness Krishna's pastimes. And then there's a little bit of a warning here. Sankirtan should come with a sticker. You may become addicted.
How do you see the future of book distribution going in your community of Bhaktivedanta manor? And if we want to increase the number of books being distributed and increase people receiving these books, what sort of things do you think that we should focus on in the near future and beyond?
Yeah, I'm reminded of the Diksha Prabhu, who always says that if we want to increase book distribution, we've got to increase the number of book distributors. And I think those who already have a taste for this service and are doing this service should spend time glorifying book distribution and making it as accessible to other devotees as possible, and making it as, to quote Brigopati Prabhu, user-friendly as possible, and develop relationships within the community to allow the bridge between non-book distributors and book distributors to be overcome. By making it user-friendly, I mean making the books more available in the temple. Like, for example, during Rath Yatra, um, that happened on a Sunday, and then on the Saturday morning and the Sunday morning at the manor, we had a book table set up just outside the temple room. So devotees could just drop by, pick up some books for the procession, and get a few tips. And in that way, the people wanting to distribute books didn't have to work hard to find the books, get the books. It's just very easy for them to do it. And we got to come up with inventive ways. I had this idea of having like a book distribution car club where devotees just keep books in their car, and whenever they come across someone, they just, because the books are in the passenger seat, they just give them out and take a contribution. So book distribution need not be on the streets, in the rain, in the cold all the time. Book distribution can be something very natural, very everyday, just snuck in there. If we surround ourselves with books, then we'll see how easy it is to distribute them. And I think a key part of that is relishing Prabhupada's books. There's so much nectar in there. And when we realize how fortunate we are to read these books and become purified and transformed by these books, I think we'll feel like very humbled. Like, how comes I get this? Like, who am I to receive all this nectar? And why should there be other people in this world bereft of this nectar? I can't let that happen. Let me go out and share it in whatever way feels comfortable for me. So these are some of the things that I think we can do.
Yeah, it's very nice. What have been some successful things that have worked, do you think, over the last few years in Bhaktivedanta Manor? And
I was having a discussion with some of the youth yesterday, actually, no, the day before yesterday, about how we can encourage more of the youth to get involved this marathon. And a few of the youth who are really involved, they said what helped them was attending sanghas. We don't do it so much anymore, but it looks like we should do it more. What we used to do was after San Kirtan, every now and again, there'd be like a really, really chilled out prasadam feast at someone's home. We'd have reflections, we'd have kirtan. And those who might have been really jarred by the day, or maybe they weren't so much feeling the nectar on that particular day, maybe they were new, they had a bad experience, all of that went out the window in the strength of the sangha. Everyone was having a good time, sharing prasad, giving each other advice, there were reflections, and that coming together beyond the perhaps intensity of the book distribution on the streets, that coming together really helped build relationships. And on the strength of those relationships, people felt like, okay, well, let me give this a go again. So I think sanghas around book distribution and just book distributors being available in other areas of the temple will really help encourage more people to get involved.
Book distribution in, do you say other areas of the temple? Is that what you said just now? What do you mean by?
So I feel like book distributors shouldn't just be on the streets all the time. They should take part in other services. Maybe they should give class. They should become mentors. They should take interest in, like, I don't know, for example, at the manor we have the Goshala. Let us be available everywhere and build those connections so that we can bring the nectar of the streets to other areas of the temple and bring representatives from those other areas of the temple to book distribution. And that will feed into those other services. Sometimes I say to people, if I had two bodies, I'd love to send one to the Goshala and spend time with the cows, and I'd send one out on book distribution. But somehow my service is mainly book distribution. But when I am on book distribution, I realize also that I am serving the cows, because Prabhupada's books speak a lot about cow protection. And so if the other temple areas do get involved in book distribution, they're doing a great service to the areas that they are already expert in, just by promoting that area, by distributing knowledge about that area. DT worship, serving Dulci Marani, cooking, everything comes from the books. Books are the basis. And so we're glorifying that service by sharing knowledge about that service, which can be found in Prabhupada's books.
And finally, what message would you like to send to the devotees who are going out and doing book distribution today and during the marathon? What would be your advice or message, encouragement?
I'm thinking about that pastime in the 10th canto where Akrura is on his way to Vrindavan from Mathura. He's been dispatched by Kamsa. And I think that's the pastime that the devotees generally read when they're on their way to Vrindavan, just to kind of build a meditation. And there's something in there where Akrura says that I know I will surely receive your mercy, Krishna's mercy, Balaram's mercy, when he reaches Vrindavan. And I think we can think the same, that when we're going on the streets, we're going to Vrindavan, because Krishna is where his devotees are glorifying him, and Krishna does not step a foot outside of Vrindavan. So when we're on the way to Sankirtan, we can think we're on the way to Vrindavan, and we can anticipate Krishna's mercy. And we just have to try and find Krishna in everything that we do on the streets. In every interaction, Krishna is there. And we can just think, today I'm going to meet my worshipable Lord, Krishna. And I need not be afraid. Let me just get stuck in with this service and leave the rest to him and try and find him in every interaction. And we will surely be amazed. Like Abhiraj Goswami says, meditating on the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Chamatkar, they will surely be amazed. It's a miracle. And we'll witness many, many miracles. It's going to be extremely exciting. So just go out there, have fun, and look for Krishna on the streets, and you'll surely be amazed, and leave the rest to him.
Jai. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Yeah, that was.
Thank you, Gopal Prabhu. Lovely to have a chat with you this morning.
Oh no, it's always nice to hear from you. And I think whenever I meet you, I always get the impression that you are very naturally a very compassionate and caring person, and I think that goes a long way into sort of leading others in book distribution. You could tell by the way you were talking, and from the times that we've met, that you're very, very kind, compassionate, care for other people, and I think that's something that's very inspiring. So thank you very much, Prabhu.
It's very kind of you to say. I hope I can live up to that.
No. But yeah, thank you very much. Have a good marathon. We'll be in touch, hopefully. But yeah, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Take care. Haribol.
Haribol.